Hey, good morning guys. It's been a long time since I posted my last video. I think it was when Sophia was visiting us in Switzerland. Since then we did a lot of stuff and I'm gonna go through with you and show you some clips what we've been doing. First we flew to Czech Republic and Slovakia in order to have our 100-hour service done on the Bristol and renew our pilot licenses and the airworthiness certificate. Organized the whole trip in advance, but then one day before we left, Switzerland changed the regulations and put Czech Republic newly on the list of countries that need quarantine when coming back home to Switzerland. So that changed our plans big time. I had to cancel the extra nights at the hotel and we decided to leave super early in the morning in order to get as fast as possible to the Bristol factory to have our 100-hour service done. And then right away leave and fly to Slovakia, because if we stay less than 24 hours in Czech Republic, we do not require quarantine when coming back home. We chose a route going straight through southern Germany and then through whole Czech Republic. The advantage of this routing is that you don't need to file a flight plan for it. Of course, we always have the frequency tuned in the area that we are flying, and we listen to the ATC, and whenever we need like clearances, we talk to them, but actually without flight plan, and there's not so many restricted areas in southern Germany and also not in Czech Republic. You don't talk lots on the radio, but you won't believe what happened to us. Just after we crossed the border to Czech Republic, we got a call from Praha Information. Oscar Mike Mike 355, do you read? Yes, we do read. So I replied to them and they said, Oscar Mike Mike 355, immediately descend to 500 feet AGL and stay there. And I was like, okay. So we followed their order, but then I just questioned him back, what's the reason for this? And he said, Oscar Mike Mike 355, you're in an active military area, descend immediately. So we were already down on 500 feet AGL, so that was not a problem. But I was super surprised to hear that we are in an active military area, because I did a very thorough briefing this morning. And I also went on the Czech Republic official site where they are posting all the active military areas, and I swear there was none. There was not one active military area on the routing that we chose for that day. So, well, we did what they asked us to do and flew on 500 feet AGL through the whole Czech Republic. It was a super bumpy ride. We have landed in Kunovice. We asked our friend to call the authorities in Prague to ask them what the reason for this was. And guess what he found out? There was a big NATO exercise taking place with military from all over the world involved. And they didn't publish this on their site because it was kind of a secret training. But that was the reason why we didn't know and why they sent us down on 500 feet AGL. What have we learned from this? Always listen to the frequencies in the area that you're flying to, and maybe next time I would consider to file a flight plan, even though it's not required to be informed about stuff like that beforehand. Arrived at the Bristol factory, the mechanic started right away doing everything required for the 100-hour service. So the next morning, after a good night's sleep in the hotel, our plane was ready to fly to Slovakia to do the renewal of the pilot licenses and the airworthiness certificate. Flying through Slovakia seems almost impossible because they have so many military areas, but actually when you do it, it's quite easy because they always grant you permission to cross their areas and you get wherever you want to go, and they're very friendly. Short stop in Slovakia, and thanks to the speedy works of the inspector and the director of the SFUL, we were a few hours later already on our way back to Germany. Due to the story that we had the day before, we decided to do the flight plan and fly through Austria. Austrian controllers are super nice and friendly and very professional, so big thank you to them. Then we had a little surprise in Germany, a very good surprise. The controller lady from Munich allowed us to fly over the city center of Munich, which was incredible. Thank you very much for that. After only one day back in Germany, we already flew to another place, still in Germany, but like on the other side. We do have a Hoffmann 3-blade propeller on our plane and we are very happy with it. It's super powerful, nice propeller, nice manufacturing, and but we did experience some small vibrations, and they also noticed that at the factory. So we contacted Hoffmann, and as the weather was good, we decided to go as fast as possible to meet up with them and have a look at the propeller. Our routing brought us south of Munich over the Starnberger See, where our friend Nina lives. Maybe you remember her from an earlier video when she was visiting us here in Aruba and we went together to Curacao. So anyways, that day when we were flying over the lake, Nina was tracking us on Flight Radar. And we saw her actually on her little boat just next to the island on Starnberger See with her friend.
Aus dem Video.
Unfortunately, the mechanic and the engineer from Hoffmann didn't have time the first day to exchange our prop. Also, they didn't have the material with them. So we flew back to Freiburg and decided to come again the next morning. But the weather was looking anything else but promising for the next morning. And we did fly over a solid cloud layer, but we knew at least at the destinations the visibility would be good. So when we arrived, everything was fine. The whole propeller was exchanged under warranty. Big thank you to Hoffmann for your great service and your kindness. We really appreciate. After they installed the prop, then it was a race against time, or should I say, a race to get home before the summer thunderstorm and lightning hit. We made it home safely, just a few last miles. We did have some rain showers. After the propeller was replaced, we headed back home to Switzerland. We left our Bristol in Germany for an avionic update, and they were installing a Garmin GNC 355, an audio panel, and a new traffic monitoring system. I will show you that later on in this video. So once back in Switzerland, we chartered the Cessna 172 from our Aero Club, and we flew up to Samedan, the highest airport of Europe, which is on 5,600 feet. Once a year we have to go and land there in the plane and in the helicopter and do an online written exam for plane and helicopter in order to be allowed to land there. So that's what we did. And it's very funny when I think about it now. Not too long ago we've been dreaming about one day landing in Samedan with our plane or with the Cessna or the helicopter, and now we are going there on a regular basis just for a drink or a lunch, or sometimes also just to buy the Bündnernusstorte, which is a specialty from this area and very delicious. November we flew to Florida to finally start our instrument training. We were really looking forward. We've been studying so hard for all the theoretical part that we couldn't wait to finally start flying and put it into practice. We had an intense 6 weeks training scheduled, and we unfortunately had to go home before we finished our training. We came until end of stage 2, so we basically learned everything about the approaches and holdings and all that stuff. All that was left open was actually the cross-country flying, and of course our Czech ride. But we are super happy. We both passed the written exam with a very good grade. Christoph with 92% and me with 93%. So now we have 2 years time until we have to complete our Czech ride and get our IFR rating.
In 1,000 feet, use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto College Parkway.
So when we got home from Florida, we were positively surprised as our GNC 355 has been installed in our Bristol, and we already started to practice some IFR approaches, of course, on the visual conditions. And we did our first IFR approach into Freiburg, which I'm going to show you now. And we're gonna finish up that video with some helicopter flying in the Swiss Alps in the R66. For my next video, I was thinking about doing a Q&A, so if you have any questions, drop them below and I will answer them on my next video. I'm very happy for all the likes I get and all the subscriptions. Thank you very much. This is a motivation to do this work and share it with you. I really love to do that for you guys. Thank you and see you on my next video. Bye bye. Guys, super nice day today and we are driving to the heliport to go for a flight in the mountains, and I'm gonna take you along. This is our way to the heliport. Nice mountain panorama as you can see.
you see the glacier on the right. We have 8,700 feet. It's good altitude to approach. Visibility is clear, so we're checking for the wind. Right now, wind more or less calm, a little bit of tailwind, 4 knots. Obstacles, we don't have any. Light is good, we see everything clear. Checking our torque. 50% torque, we have plenty of energy, it's just the 2 of us. Cabin heat is off, anti-ice is off, doors are locked, seat belts are on, so we're good to do a high reco and decide whether we're gonna land or not. Turning into our final, speed 50, altitude 9,200, torque 40, wind.
We have some gusts a little bit from everywhere, but mainly wind is still coming from the front, so we had a wind.
45. Good. That's it. Okay, I'm going to turn the helicopter then left into the wind, having it on the torque. Oh, we go around too high.
Weer nach links zum Landen. Ja, wir können es nur antippen und dann kommt von rechts, ne, dass die ja nicht überbläst.
Ja, bin schon durch.
Ja, okay.
Usually we would fly this route, but as there is a cloud layer, we might not be able to go down. So we are doing a little detour and see if it's better, a little bit more west. So we flew a little detour. We went a little bit more northwest of the field to come then, northeast.
Thank you very much. Hotel Bravo Zulu Uniform Romeo, expect traffic just departing Munich, runway 03, outbound towards Echo.
Hotel Bravo Zulu Uniform Romeo, looking out for traffic departing runway 03. We are actually on 7,000 feet, descending for 6,000 feet, direction Echo. 6,500 feet.
Hotel Bravo Zulu Uniform Romeo, roger, continue, the wind 150 degrees, 4 knots, via Fato, spot number 4, land on discretion.
Landing on discretion via Fato, spot number 4, Hotel Bravo Uniform Romeo.
Hotel Bravo Delta in Echo, the opposite traffic is 6,500 feet, Echo inbound.
Inside, thank you. Echo, we have fast Echo and we decide to cross via Albula.
Hotel Bravo Delta India Echo, roger, when reaching Albula you may leave your frequency Zurich, info available 1247. Danke für deinen Besuch, schönen Einflug und ich wünsche noch einen schönen Tag.
Danke gleichfalls. See you later.
We stay parallel until we see the Fato and then we cross over the runway. That's the Fato. So
Helicopter Uniform Romeo crossing runway via Fato.
Uniform Romeo, roger, the actual wind 190 degrees, 5 knots. Cross via Fato, land heliport number 4.
Landing number 4, crossing via Fato. Hotel Uniform Romeo.
Hello, Sierra Golf Echo, just for information, the wind is rising up, so for runway 03 you can have to expect 5 knots tailwind. Is it okay for you? Otherwise you can have runway 21 if you want.
that's also something to be aware of. We are flying in mountainous terrain. The weather can change very fast. So from calm wind 5 minutes ago, we changed to, how many knots do we have? 5 knots from south. It's not a lot, but still, 5 knots tailwind is not so nice. Over check. 61 torque. Turning left. Then pulling 10 more. Accelerating over photo. Right is clear. Left is clear. And turning left. Staying a little bit to the right because of the cows.
Flugplatz Amaden für Rega 9 nochmal. Weißt du etwas von einem Heizluftballon im Val Bever?
Ja, der Heißluftballon in Valbeva ist sicher gelandet. Pilot Same Juan. Der hat eben gerade angerufen, vor 5 Minuten.
We are turning now into our cross leg. Check for the speed, check for the altitude, check for the torque. Looking outside. We have 60, reducing to 55. Check for the wind. Still have a tailwind. Altitude is okay, 9,850. Keep our speed, 50. That will be our downwind. On our left side is our landing spot. Reduce now to 45. Check our altitude, 45. Slowly turning into our base. Altitude is good, 9,850. Speed is 40. We'll have then our headwind. Want to stay above ETL. Not speeding up. We have to reduce speed. 35. 35. Check for our altitude. See where we are going to land. That looks good. Speed is good. Commit to land. If there will be anything, we still can escape on our left side. But we committed now to land. Coming in perfectly. Sometimes components, wind coming from
To the right.
From the right and headwind. Parts. That's also something to check. It's nice and even, the ground. Sometimes it's difficult to see it on the snow, any slopes. Then additionally, if there's powder snow, we don't sink on one side.
It feels nice and steady. Zulu Uniform Romeo, picking up and departing to the northwest, 4 up. Okay, doors closed, seatbelts locked, anti-ice, cabin heat is off. All is in the green. We have a little bit less than half a tank of fuel. Throttle is fully open. Rotor RPM N2 100. We are good to go. Picking up.
We do our hover check.
Hover check, 60 torque. Have to turn into the wind again. Now it's coming from the left. Okay.
Departure area is clear.
Departure area
so
clear.
We don't want to go below 9,750. We rather climb. Perfect. Speeding up to 60 knots at least.
with the work and I'm just gonna relax for a little bit. Bye guys, see you next time.